What is a fair price? Many people know what it is like to be exploited or ripped off by a vendor, such as when buying overpriced ice creams at a tourist venue. Yet, according to prevailing economic theory, there is no such thing as a rip-off. The price of anything is simply the market price, which is the price people are prepared to pay. For market economists, there is no moral dimension to price at all. Pricing is simply an automatic function of supply and demand. Merchants who appear to be overcharging are simply pushing the price to its limits. If they push their price further than people are prepared to pay, people stop buying, so the merchants are forced to bring down their prices. Market economists consider the marketplace to be the only way to establish price, as nothing, not even gold, has an intrinsic value. The idea that the marketplace should set prices seems to contrast sharply with the view expressed by Sicilian scholar Thomas Aquinas in his Summa Theologica, one of the first studies of the marketplace. For Aquinas, a scholar-monk, price was a deeply moral issue. Aquinas recognized avarice as a deadly sin, but at the same time he saw that if a merchant is deprived of the profit incentive, he would cease to trade, and the community would be deprived of goods it needed. Aquinas concluded that a merchant may charge a fair price, which includes a decent profit, but excludes excessive profiteering, which is sinful. This fair price is simply the price the buyer freely agrees to pay, given honest information. The vendor is not obliged to make the buyer aware of facts that might lower the price in the future, such as the shiploads of cheap produce due to dock shortly. To understand how Aquinas came up with his view of the marketplace, we need to go through his background. St. Thomas Aquinas was one of the greatest scholars of the Middle Ages. He was born in Aquino, Sicily, in 1225 to an aristocratic family, and began his education at the age of 5. At the age of 17, he decided to leave worldly wealth behind and join an order of poor Dominican monks. His family was so shocked that they literally kidnapped him on his way to join the order and held him captive for 2 years. His determination, however, remained unbroken, and eventually the family gave in, letting him go to Paris, where he came under the tutelage of the scholar-monk Albert the Great. Aquinas studied and taught in France and Italy, and in 1272 founded a Studium Generale, which is a form of university in Naples, Italy. His many philosophical works were hugely influential in paving the way to the modern world. Among his works are the Disputed Questions on Truth, the Summa contra Gentiles, and the Summa Theologica. The issues of price and morality are very much alive today, as both economists and the public discuss the fair price of a banker's bonus or the minimum wage. Free market economists who reject interference in the market and those who advocate government intervention, whether for narrow economic or moral reasons, continue to argue about the rights and wrongs of imposing restrictions on pricing. So to recap, what exactly defines a fair price? Look at it this way: the market needs goods, and traders will only supply said goods if there is a profit to be made, which would compensate for their endeavor and risk-taking. But besides the accounting part, there is a moral dimension too. In order to avoid prices being too unfair for the buyers, traders need to make sure that their profit made is not excessive, because avarice is a sin. There can also be no deception when setting the prices. And lastly, the buyer must freely accept the price set by the trader. All this is a fancy way of saying the marketplace decides the equilibrium price. Thank you for staying until the end of the video. If you enjoyed this topic, it is only fair to leave a like and subscribe. Check out my previous video about property rights if you haven't. Bye now!